everyone, happy new year, because this is my first video of 2023. If you are new to my channel, and I have had quite a few new subscribers over the Christmas period where I wasn't posting very much, my name is Emma, this is my allotment plot, these are my allotment diaries. I am based in South London and I am going into my 4th year on my allotment plot. That doesn't make me an expert. Don't think that because I'm going into my 4th year I know any more than I did going into my 1st year. I mean, I probably know a little bit more, but I'm definitely far off from being any kind of expert. Last year was probably my worst growing year so far on the allotment plot, just because I don't know, I think I cut a lot of corners and we just had very difficult conditions, didn't we? We had that massive heat wave, we had lots of storms, we had the driest spring on record ever. Anyway, it was a difficult year, so I didn't manage to grow what I wanted to last year, and like as much as I wanted to. I'm really hoping that 2023 is going to be the year that I improve. I think you're always improving though, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many failures you make, I think you're always improving. So I aim to improve more in 2023. That is my resolution, that is my only goal, is to grow a little bit more, to improve, to feel more confident. That's it. Talking like a true loser. Right, hope you've all been well, hope you had a lovely new year and a lovely Christmas if you celebrate it. Happy to be back. A lot of you have got new allotment plots, and I know because you're always getting in touch with me on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm on the TikTok now as well, and I'll leave the links to those below if you want to follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I've got a blog as well, you can come follow along. A lot of you are telling me that you've got new allotment plots, so congratulations. I have got a playlist below now which will give you all the tips and advice. It's all of my old videos of how-tos and things like that, things that I've learnt, basically mistakes that I've made, so I hope that'd be helpful. We're going to kick off the year with a little allotment plot tour, I thought, and just take stock of it. It's a great time of year just to come down in January and just take stock of your allotment and see where you want to go and how it's looking right now, especially if you've been away for Christmas like I was. So let's go and take a little look. Let's see what we're dealing with. It's a very grey, cloudy day on the allotment plot. Looks a little bit miserable, but we're in a good mood because we're here, we're outside, we're getting some fresh air. This is a little overview of my plot. You can see the areas, the troublesome areas where everything just seems to have overgrown a little bit. The front of the plot is looking pretty good, and that's because I actually worked hard before Christmas kind of getting this into shape. So I've remulched it, weeded it, and started to fill some of the beds with some new compost and mulch and manure and stuff like that, which is great. This bed here also looking okay, but then it's as we kind of get to the middle. I don't think we did the middle of the plot, did we, when we were working through the beds? I can't remember doing the middle, so maybe that's the problem. But over here, all just going to look, I mean, it doesn't look much now. I know, it doesn't look like the worst kind of mess at an allotment plot that I've ever seen, and I'm sure you've seen worse as well, but when the summer gets going, when the spring gets going, and this all starts to grow, if I don't do something about it now, it's going to be weeds galore, basically. Has the potential to be very, very, very unmanageable, so I need to sort this out before the spring gets going, and then scoot you around. I'm going to sort this area this year. This area of my plot is a little bit neglected and abandoned, so this is the area I'm going to sort out. So I still have sprouts growing, and I did this on purpose. So I harvested some for my Christmas dinner, and they were delicious, by the way, like the best sprouts I've ever tasted. They were all different sizes, but it didn't matter. What I did was I parboiled them, so I just boiled them until they were a little bit soft, and then I cut them in half and put them in the oven with some honey and roasted them for about half an hour. Less than that, I think 20 minutes or so, until they went nice and brown and crispy, and they were just lovely, really, really good. But I did leave a few to harvest in January, just so I would have something to harvest. However, they do look a little bit sad now. I'm not sure if they are harvestable. This one is tiny. There's always a tiny one, isn't there? There's always a teeny tiny crop that I've seen to grow. Yeah, these, they look okay. They look like they've gone over a little bit, but I think they're probably still edible. And a little trick that I learnt, so I just said about the fact that some of them are different sizes. You can see on this one here, the ones on the top are kind of smaller than the ones maybe on the bottom, and it's just because they're growing at different rates. Something that you can do is you can chop the top of the plant off when it gets growing, and they will all develop at the same time. You'll sort of stop new ones from growing or something. So you can see, particularly on this plant here, the sprouts at the top are smaller than the sprouts at the bottom. So just chopping the top off, chopping this bit off, will just mean that they all develop at the same rate. But I didn't bother with that. I didn't bother. So the other thing you can do is just harvest individual sprouts. Oh, our friends the crows are back. Individual sprouts as and when they're done, and then let the others grow and develop, and they might even grow more, I don't know. Hi guys, Happy New Year. But yeah, that's just sort of personal preference, up to you. I personally didn't mind them being different size. I thought it was quite funny, and also it felt really homegrown as well, which was quite nice. I like them to be a little bit imperfect, but tasted great. So what does it really matter? And then underneath the sprouts, my onions are still growing. A lot of you said to leave them. I was going to harvest them before Christmas. I left them. This is what they're doing now, guys. Really happy, healthy, super healthy. I mean, probably the healthiest onions I've ever grown in my life. And then there's lots over there too. Not quite as healthy as the other side, but oh, these ones are okay. This one's all right. Look at him. He's quite happy. But yeah, they're sort of growing, and then underneath them, my tulips are growing. So we'll have to harvest these before the tulips get going, otherwise we're going to have sort of tulips and onions. Not quite sure what kind of display that will give me, really. Right, so that's that bed, and that bed's doing pretty good, so I might harvest some sprouts today actually. And then here is my old strawberry bed, which I actually mulched over with some manure before Christmas. So this has had manure in it now for about a month, and as you can see, it's not rotted down massively, has it? I mean, look, we just got lumps and lumps of horse poo in here, so I don't really know when I can grow into it, to be honest. Right, stop touching the horse poo. Anyway, I'm going to mulch this over with some compost, shop brought compost that I've got, and see how that goes. And all my strawberries obviously are not in here anymore. My strawberries are all in here, which is my new little planter I made, and I basically screwed it into the side of my shed. I made it out of a pallet, and I've just put all of my strawberry plants in here, and they're looking a bit like ratty and dying and brown, but you just pull off the brown leaves and they come back to life. Strawberries are so indestructible. They're amazing plants, and I think I put them in originally in February. I just whacked them out and they all just survived. They're very they're like weeds. Strawberries are. They spread like weeds. They survive like weeds. They are not they're not fussy plants. So I'll just tidy them up a bit. Literally, look how rough I'm being with them. Just pulling off any of the brown leaves and any weeds that have developed around them. Strawberries are their own story of hope, all in themselves, because even when things look really dire for them and they're on their last legs, somehow they survive. They are the survivalists of the allotment world. They are a story of hope and how you can overcome anything. Even me. And if a plant can survive me, it can survive anything. I'll tell you that. There you go, we're dancing, we're having a good time. Gardening in January, people, it's good. I've not even got a coat on. What is going on? Right, that's them sorted, and they will survive that massacre that I've just given them, so they're going to be fine now, and that's them done. Moving on. Oh, you stink. Right, pumpkin archer's moving this year. It's not moving far, it's moving down a bed, because I've done pumpkins in the same bed for 3 years in a row now, and you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do something, oh, excuse me, called crop rotation, which is where you move your crops about every year, and the reason you do that is to give them new nutrients and give them a new lease of life, but also to stop spreading any diseases in the soil. So you're supposed to move your crops about, and I've done my pumpkins there, like I said, 3 years. So it's moving from this bed to this bed basically to go across there, but I'm not going to do it today because I don't want to break the whole thing and have it all fly down. It seems pretty secure at the moment, so we'll leave that just for a little bit. This bed has been mulched before Christmas, so that is great. Over here I think I planted some tulips, but where are they, and are they even growing? Oh yes, I see them. Oh yes, a tulip. Oh yes, another one. Oh great, they're all coming up. Oh, move leaves, move! Success! So we have tulip bulbs coming up there. I think I planted some more here. I don't know if they're coming up or not. Let's have a look. Got the tulip bulbs. Oh, there he is. Fantastic. Yes! Can't believe it. Alright, maybe just one, but it's okay. It's good. It's all good. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. Signs of spring on the horizon already. Happy, happy days. And then this bed here, I planted my shallots and my garlic, and they're all coming up too. All I need to do is just not come here and everything just does well. It's like it just hates me. But yeah, look, these are all my shallots, doing so good. And then this is my garlic, again, growing really well. However, let's not get ahead of ourselves, because this is usually what happens, and then at some point in the next month they just die, and I don't know why. I've got to this point many times before. They're not going to massively get my hopes up, but it is looking good, so we'll leave it at that, I think. Tree. So many questions. As you can see, that's what I look like on the allotment plot 9 times out of 10. So if you're worried about looking like a fool, just watch these videos. You ain't got nothing on me, I'll tell you that. Right, so that was all from some structure. What I'm going to try and do is clear that area, but I don't really know how to go about it. So what I'm going to do is just get stuck in and just do it, you know, just do it. Right, let's do it. Come on then. Right, no, you can't just do that. You can't just get stuck in, because you need to know what you're doing. Is what I've just learned from that. So what I really want to do is dig it over and then cover it. Yeah, I think I can do that. This is a nightmare to dig in because it's just so undiggable. You know, when something's just really undiggable. Do I have to dig that over to cover it? What I want to do is cover it in weed membrane and then put wood chip over it. Do I have to dig it, or can I just cover it? Will it just die, or is it not strong enough to just die? Let me know in the comments and then save me the heartache. What I'm going to do for now, start putting I'm just going to put a bit of it over and show you what my plan is basically. This is the plan. So the question to you in the comments is, if I just cover this whole area in this black weed membrane stuff like that, right, and I cover the whole area and I would chip it over, do I have to bother digging all that grass out? Because that looks horrible to dig out, doesn't it? I have a feeling it'd be okay, but will it? Or will it just all seep underneath because the roots will still be there? Right, let me know anyway. We'll go onward with the tour. I got a bit distracted by that bit because I just want to know what I'm going to do with it. I think just chop it back basically and tidy it. This is my flower bed, and I left my, what are they called, gladioli in there over winter, over Christmas, and they've just died. But I think that's a good thing, because I think what that means is that they fed the bulb underneath, and it should just Yeah, look, it just pulls up without pulling the bulb up now. That's when I think you're supposed to take them out. You know, like daffodils and stuff like that. And you're always like, oh, when do I kill them? Well, you just wait until you can pull them like that and the bulb doesn't come up. And then you know that they fed all the goodness. And look, underneath, lo and behold, life. New life. Already coming through the soil. Oh, isn't it exciting? New life. Oh wow, look at you guys. Please don't die. And then obviously we have this area here at the back. This has got a covering over it, so I really hope that will sort of be alright and easier to do. I want to cut all that back. That's obviously not from my plot, it's from their plot, but at the same time it's coming onto my plot, so I want to cut all that back. I'm going to sort this area out here. My neighbours have got a lovely new fence up, so what I want to do is clear all that as well, and get some weed membrane down, or some kind of ground sheet, and then put wood chip there to try and stop those weeds going over into their plot, is the plan anyway. I will have to dig that out because there's loads of like, it's not even, basically. Compost heap is an absolute blooming disaster. Just don't talk to me about compost. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't know how to do compost. I keep trying, it keeps dying, it keeps just turning into that. So I don't know what's going on. And then my polytunnel didn't blow away. Hallelujah! It didn't blow away. I can't open it. Right. We're going in it. And basically, I've got all this compost here, which I brought at the weekend, and I made my husband lug up here. I've gone for different brands this year, so I'm not going for the B&Q stuff. The reason being, I haven't had a problem with the B&Q compost as such, but I've never tried anything else, so I have nothing to compare it to. Does that make sense? So even though things have grown, I thought, I wonder if things will grow better in different compost. So I've gone for, and I asked on Instagram for your advice on this, and I went with your advice. I've got the Westland brand, peat-free multi-purpose compost, obviously. It's got this as well. A lot of people said John Innes or Inns, and this had it added, so I thought, all right, we'll get that too. And then I've also got Silver Grow, which is the multi-purpose peat-free compost, and I also went for Bloomin' Marvellous, which is under here somewhere. So got 3 different brands to try out this year, which is quite exciting. In terms of the polytunnel, things are still growing. I don't know if they'll grow into anything, but it's nice to see a bit of green. But anyway, this day is just basically my taking stock day, my figuring it all out, my what's growing, what's died, what needs doing day. So I'll go home now, and from this inspection I will formulate a plan, and then I'll try and carry the plan out, and then the plan will go out the window and we'll end up with what we end up with. So thank you for watching, do subscribe if you're new, and let's get going with the 2023 growing season. Woohoo! Oh god, spider! See you next time guys, thanks for watching, bye!